Green face bitch walking down the street. Green face bitch walking down the street. Green bitch, green face bitch walking down the street. Green faced bitch makes you wanna scream. Green face bitch makes you wanna ski. Green face bitch walking down the street. Green face bitch got the thighs and I'm in heat. Green face bitch makes you wanna ski. Green face bitch makes you wanna green face bitch. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another social production. That's right. Green face bitch, I see you walking down the street. Green face bitch makes you wanna ski. I say, oh, green face bitch makes you wanna ski. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome back. Glad you made it. It's not a social production. That's right. We're doing it on Friday. I believe it's March the 21st. That's right. It's the first day of spring. It's the first day of spring, everybody. Happy springing wherever you're sprung. Shout out to you. If you're tuning in, if it's your first time, buckle up. Where can you find these videos? On Instagram. Follow me there. Subscribe on the YouTube channel so you get the full-length videos. Check out patreon.com/RobSadju if you'd like to physically, financially support the show. If you've been with me from the get-go, sending all the love right back to you. If you're just tuning in right now, again, subscribe on the YouTube channel so that you can have yourselves a ball. That's right. A lifetime supply of having yourselves a ball. Shout out to my beautiful cousins, my sexy motherfuckers out there, my beautiful familia out there, the syndicate, that is us. My heterosexuals, my gays, my homos, my fugots, my fags. Shout out to my whiteys, my crackers. Shout out to my blacks. Shout out to my niggas. Shout out to the Chinese. Shout out to the Asians. Shout out to the Itais, the Italians. Shout out to the pork and cheese, the Portuguese, that is, the Scandinavian countries, Australia. So we'll get to Australia as well, because Australia, you've been reading some stuff. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, green face bitch, I see you walking down the street. Green face bitch makes you wanna ski. Green face bitch does make you wanna ski. Doesn't she? She sure does, and I'll tell you all about her. I'm walking down the street, I see green face bitch. That's how the song was made. Green face bitch, I see you walking down the street. Green face bitch, you make me want to ski. Green face bitch, you know that I'm in heat. Green face bitch, let me suckle on your teeth. Green face bitch, what you doing with them feet? It's a green face bitch. Green face bitch, I see you walking down the street. Green face bitch, make your boy wanna ski. Let me suck on your feet, green face bitch. I'm walking down the street yesterday, and it's a beautiful day. Sun is out, clouds have parted. Boys having a good time listening to music, listening to this podcasts, walking down the street. I got my brand new sunglasses, my very expensive sunglasses. My most expensive sunglasses. These sunglasses are very expensive. They are. And I had them on. I'm walking down the street. To me, it's expensive, and everything is relative, of course. I'm in the fucking $9.99 is a lot of money somewhere else. So it's very expensive. It's all perspective. Yes, it's a lot of money. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, I've got my glasses. That's one thing you should know about your mans. I want to get my money's worth. The other pair of glasses that I have still, the yellow ones, I got my money's worth. I'll probably bring them back at one point. But your boy likes sunglasses, and I will get I'll sleep with these. I'll shower with them. I do shower with them. I'll take a shit with this. Interviews, only with these sunglasses. It's nighttime, still put them on. Hurting my eyes at some point? Maybe. I don't know. I do see different colors when I do take them off. After it's been on for like a few hours, everything does seem... But that's aside the point. I'm walking down the street. I'm enjoying my very expensive sunglasses, listening to my programs, if you will. And I see this bitch, amongst other bitches, of course, because I notice this. You're out there, I see you with the titties and the labias, just walking, waiting for spring to get sprung and waiting for summer so you can let those puppies breathe, if you know what I mean. Them double D's need to take a little breather out there. Get a little vitamin D. Get a little, lather it up with some, anti-inflammatory or SPF or whatever, and just let them hang. Your boy's out there, all right? Just enjoying nature most of all. Nature, because your boy's into nature. Enjoying the scenery of the city. And all of a sudden, I see this bitch walking amongst other people. Well, she's got a green face. Now, your boy's a little bit lit, but that's nothing new and that's nothing out of the ordinary. I'm always a little bit, you know what I mean? So it's a nice time. And I'm watching everybody. And yes, these new pair of sunglasses, they do give a different shade to life. It's all things are different colors. It's actually kind of cool. Kind of liking it, which is one of the selling points, which I was not even aware of. I knew it was a different shade, of course, but I didn't know it was going to be this fucking gray, because life is a different color now. It's kind of neon, actually. I'm not going to lie. Everything's kind of neon, which is nice. But nonetheless, I'm walking down the street. I see this beautiful bitch, but she's got a green face, and I'm a little lit. I'm thinking to myself, she's getting closer and closer. She's about to pass me by. I'm about to pass her by. I'm just thinking to myself, is this bitch actually green-faced? Is this an actual green-faced bitch walking down the street? Green-faced bitch makes you wanna ski. I'm contemplating. Because I don't want to like make a scene and point. You don't want to point a finger at somebody in public. You're like, oh my God, that's a green-faced bitch. Does anybody else see that? You don't want to be that guy. And you want to make her feel uncomfortable, maybe. So questions are going up in my mind, and I believe I've actually seen this bitch another time as well. I believe this is the second time. I think a prior experience. Let's just get to this. I'm not sure. I've seen this bitch before. This is the second time I've seen this lady. So now I'm just thinking, is this an actual woman with a green face? Could that be our option number one? She's actually got a green face. The rest of her body didn't look green. She had regular hands, regular, neckline, but the face was green. So now your boy's just thinking, is this a regular, natural female with a, hint of green to her face? Could it be that maybe she's an alien? I don't know. I'm like, is this an alien bitch? Is this an alien bitch? Let's listen to that sound. That's a beautiful noise outside. I believe there's some cleaning going outside the old unit, the old apartment, the old studio. I'm not sure if it's getting recorded or not, but somebody's vacuuming the hallways, which is nice. This podcast is all about cleanliness. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Godliness is right there with fucking being, doing all right. So I'm glad to know that while we do the podcast, the most serious of podcasts, the most entertaining of podcasts, the most groundbreaking of podcasts, there's somebody out there doing good work, making sure everything's fucking clean. Because that's part of it. That's part of life. So that little noise that you might have heard, I'm not even sure if it got recorded, but I did want to address it. They say always address it. Always address it or ignore. One of those two. Always address it or ignore. Try both. Ignore, but then address it hard. So it's nice, and it's fading away, and it's gone. It's gone down the hallway. It doesn't matter, ladies and gentlemen. What were we even talking about? Not cleanliness, of course. This bitch having a green face, yes. So I'm just wondering myself now, is this a female with a green face? Could it be an alien lady? Could it be that I am seeing things in a different light because of said glasses? But I don't want to be the one to have to lower or raise my glasses and I don't want to stare at this bitch walking down the street because I don't want to make her feel awkward. What if she does have so I'm thinking, is it my glasses? Is this a real woman? Why is the rest of her body regularly, colored like a normal person, but her face is green? And I'm not contemplating, it could be that, again, it could be anything, it could be a number of things. It could be she's a real woman with a green face. So please, if you've seen this woman sometime between the time of, let's say, it was in the afternoon, somewhere around 3 to 6 in the evening, around Yonge and Eglinton, if you're in the Toronto area, if you've seen a green-faced bitch was walking towards you as well, if you leave a comment, or if there are other green-faced bitches out there in any major city or village or little township or rural area, it doesn't matter, wherever it is, if you're like if you're in the countryside, if you got a green-faced, let me know, are there more of these bitches out there? Could it be that it's my glasses? Could it be that that's the condition? Because what was up with the rest of her? Why wasn't the rest of her body green colored? And it wasn't like a day where it's St. Patty's Day is already gone and done. It's over. Which, by the way, happy Happy St. Patty's Day. It was beautiful. Got stuck in traffic on Sunday. Thank you for the parade. That was nice. Not moving an inch. Took me 2 hours to get back home. It was nice. I liked it. I love traffic. It gives me a time to just contemplate and, you know, think of the categories of porn that I'd like to watch in the evening later on. But nonetheless, we're here and we're talking about it. So I'm just wondering what was up with this bitch. It could be, I came up with a conclusion. It could also be that she had applied a certain amount of makeup, perhaps a little bit too much, maybe. I think she might have done like one of those pancake situations, but I think she went hard. She went hard in the paint with the pancake. And I think with the shade of the sunglasses, I've seen a green face. I think that might be the explanation, but she might also have some sort of disease like gangria or like, you know, gingivitis or like, I don't know, just some sort of medieval shit that I'm not even aware of, you know, just fucking, you know, the new, you know, the lemon disease or whatever they're cooking up next. But I'm not sure. Regardless, I did see her, beautiful body, beautiful lady, but green face nonetheless. So green face bitch, wherever you are, leave a comment. And if that's just your natural, face, I'm intrigued because like, what happened? What happened? Has anybody else seen this bitch out there? I'm gonna just leave a comment, please, because this is extraordinary. It's really incredible to see a different. Because I'm like, you know, with all the news and everything, you know, UAPs, UFOs, I'm like, are they sprinkling them in just a little 1% at a time, just deposited, and they're just green faced? They're just green faced bitches walking amongst us, and I'm like, getting used to it little by little. Well, green faced bitch, you were hot anyway, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'll tap it. I don't care. I don't care that you got a face that's green. It doesn't bother me none. I wonder if her pussy's green. The rest of her body seems to be normally colored. I'm just assuming. Can a man dream? Can a man imagine? Can a boy just, you know, conceive of ideas in his head? Green puss? You know, never seen that before. That's a new one. I'll hit it. I'll hit it for the team. I'll tap it for the team. But that's what it is, baby. So I'm not sure if it's the glasses, if it's a combination of her makeup and my glasses, if it's her real skin tone, whatever it is, it's working, baby. It's working.
Green face bitch, I see you walking down the street. Green face bitch, makes you wanna ski. Green face bitch, let me suckle on your teeth. I said, green face bitch, what you doing with your feet?
That's what I saw. That's what I'm letting you on. Like, we're in on it now. We're in on it now together. It feels good because I was just like feeling a little bit freaked out. I'm not sure what she was doing or how she got there. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot to discuss. We got a lot to cover today. Let's have a little bit of fun. First of all, let's get a sip of this. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's always, when you're drinking coffee, always make sure you get it up your nostrils. That's the Italian or south of France. That's how they drink their coffee, and that's how you're supposed to do it properly. If you're not doing that, then whatever, you're a novice. But I take my coffee through the nose like a man, like a, you know, a firm lady. Ladies and gentlemen, I thought about a new game that we could all play together. It could be potentially in the next Olympics. I'm not sure. I'm thinking it's called prick to prick, right? Prick to prick. Hear me out. It's gonna be nice. Men's and women's who compete one-on-one against one another. What's the game? What's the sport, you're asking? I'm glad you are. Thank you. The sport is to get naked, fully naked. All right, lather up, maybe oil yourself up in some sort of, you know, just some sort of, you know, seed oil, olive oil. It doesn't matter. I don't care. You got to be slippery. You are going to be equipped with a cactus or potentially cacti. I'm not sure. That's debatable. We're figuring it out together. It's all right. Multiple ones or just one cactus or multiple cacti available, because you might actually drop the cactus. Your task, your goal, your mission, the sport is to have your cactus in your hand and try to prick your opponent. 3-minute rounds. At the end of the third round, whoever has the least amount of pricks will win. If you prick more, your opponent loses, eliminated. We will count them. You're supposed to get the needle stuck in your opponent's dermis. That's how the game works. Again, 3-minute rounds, just you, a fella, or maybe a lady. And this is actually a sport where men and women, I think, can compete with each other, because it's not a sport about strength necessarily. It could be a little bit of it is, because you're supposed to, you know, but nonetheless, it's not all about strength. It's not about hitting or knocking out. It's about getting your opponent, jabbing them with as many needles as possible, and getting jabbed the least amount of times. I think it's going to be great. I believe anybody can play this game. Children as young as, if they can crawl, if they can carry the weight of their head, they can play this game. A lot of people are like, man, how do I get my kid to have that hand-eye coordination ready for the softball games? I say this could be played with, children can play this, adolescents, youth can play this, young adults can play this, and it could go all the way up. A lot of times people get up to a certain points in their life and they're like, I don't want to overextend myself. I don't want to take, because hip replacement's expensive, kneecaps, expensive, surgeries, don't want it. This game is extremely safe. You're not going to be tearing any ligaments, any sort of, pulling of the muscles or uncomfortable cramps. Whiplashes, none in this game. If you warm up properly, or do not come crying back to us, say, oh, I got whiplash playing prick to prick. Because nobody else is complaining, it's just you. It's a you problem. It's not an us problem, it's a you problem. If you get whiplash, extreme whiplash, don't think you're gonna come around trying to sue this industry, because it's a whole sport, all right? It's feeding a lot of lives, family members, mouths. It's a business that can bring unity to the world, because anybody from anywhere in the world can actually compete in this. So if you were wondering, you're like, man, I'm not quite sure if the martial arts for me, but I do like agility. Or maybe I do like aspects of martial arts, but I don't want to be hit, but I still do kind of want to I do want to feel it though. A lot of sports, you don't feel it. With prick to prick, you'll feel every time you get pricked, you'll feel it. And again, the mission is to get as many needles in your opponent's body. Could somebody get hurt or injured? Honestly, we did run some tests. It wasn't, the games at that time were not commissioned, which is nice. Yes, I'm not gonna beat around the bush or tell you lies. Some people did indeed get pricked in the eye and lost their eyesight, but that's just because they weren't stretching before and they did not apply the amount of lube. That's why we tell you to lube up ample amounts of lube, because that's the thing. You don't want to. Could we in hindsight give them goggles? We could, but we don't want anything getting in their way. All right, it's important that you have the utmost amount of flexibility, durability, agility. Reflexes got to be just with it. So I can't have you just cramped down by eye gear. So yes, have people lost eyes? I say, hey, if you can't hold on to it, it wasn't meant to be, let it go. If it comes back to you, then you know it's meant to be for reals. Yes, we did. We certainly did have a few people lose their eyesight. Were they glad that they played in the first place? Did it have an altering experience for them? Did their life course just kind of take a turn for the better? 100%. Did they try to lawyer up and come after us? Yeah, maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Did we send a message with a few strong men and a baseball bat? Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. Who knows? But all I'm trying to say is that this game, Prick to Prick, is for the everyday folk. Young, old, black, white, Asian, Middle Eastern, European, Arctic, Antarctica, an islander, underwater, over water, dry, wet, north, south, east, west. You can play this game. Prick to prick, grab a cactus, practice on your own, because when you do come to the big leagues, the pricks are at least 1.5 inches long. So fucking be prepared. You're welcome, everybody. Ladies and gents, it's just another day. We're doing it together.
Green face, I see you walking down the street. Green face, make you wanna see.
I love me a good dike. I cannot get enough of a good dike. I'm telling you right now, dikes are in my top 5 favorite things in the world. I love a good dike. I love a dike that knows a thing or two about water. I like a wet dike because I like being wet myself. And I like my dikes to be wet too. When I see a wet dike, it just gets me excited. It gets me low-key. Kind of gets me hard, not gonna lie to you. But I love a good dike. It's underappreciated. It's one of the, because most of the time the attention doesn't go to the dikes. A lot of people overlook the dikes. A lot of people just overlook the dikes. And these bitches are wet. These bitches are holding it down. These bitches are holding it back. But who gets most of the glory? Who gets most of the attention when it comes to water retention and holding back fluids? Dams, that's right. Dams get a lot of attention. Oh, look at the Hoover Dam. Look at this dam over here. Look at this dam over there. But nobody ever says what a beautiful dike. What a beautiful dike. What a beautiful separation of land and water, or just water and water. It's a beautiful work of art. That's what when I see dikes, I get excited. I say that's human ingenuity. That's innovation. That's not only the past, the present, but the future. The future is dikes. And I love me a good dike. So please, next time you're around a body of water that's separated with a dike, please take the time to appreciate it. It's not a lot of times that people take it in and really marvel at this beautiful thing that humans have created together. And it's just a matter, because that's one thing. You can have water anywhere. You can be wet anytime you want. But at one point or another, somebody said, you know what? I'm gonna just divide this water right now. I'm gonna just dike it up. First, people were like, no, that's a crazy idea. You'll never be able to separate this body of water. No way. They said, you're mad. Get out of here, Johnny. Johnny Dike wants to separate a body of water using who knows what. They all laughed. They all pointed. They all gawked. They all laughed some more. They continued to point. And that went on for a little while. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was hard on Johnny, but nonetheless, Johnny persevered. He came in at one point, decided to, you know what, use some materials to separate a body of water and divide it, and kind of just be like, hey, water on one side, and then like some water on the other side, but we're gonna just separate it. And henceforward, it was invented. Dikes were invented. It was beautiful, and Johnny was welcomed back to the tribe and gang, and everybody slow clapped, and they're like, oh my God, you did it, Johnny boy. You did it. You did it. And they clapped and they enjoyed, and guess what? People jumped in. Some jumped in on one side of the dike. Others jumped over to the other side of the dike. And at the end of the day, you know what? Everybody had a great time, and everybody cheered on dike, 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 dike. Dike, 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 dike. And it was just beautiful, because it was one of those moments, rare moments, where in humanity where we put aside our differences, and we said, you know what, we can all gather around and celebrate together. You know what? We can all celebrate dikes, the separation of man and like water, or water and like a body of water, just water nonetheless. 75-80% of the earth is made of water, so a dike, despite the fact that it doesn't get the attention or recognition it needs, is doing a lot of hard work, a lot of heavy lifting. So shout out to the dikes holding it down, all right? Put some respect on dikes' names. I appreciate a good dike. That's what I say, that's what I do on my own time anyway. Ladies and gents, but that's just me. I know you're much like me, and I'm like you. Aren't we all the same? One of the most important questions that I get asked outside, inside, in life, just in life, that's right. It's that, how do you tenderize your meat? A lot of people are asking this question. It's not getting answered, which is why I decided to come up with a solution. Tenderizing your meat is very important. A lot of people don't know how to tenderize their meat. How could you tenderize your meat a little bit? If you're a male, if you've got a cock, if you've got a penis, I recommend grabbing your penis. And in order to tenderize it, grab a hammer. Grab a hammer. Put it in your hand, raise the hammer, and then smash your cock with the hammer multiple times, several times. 5 to 10 minutes of smashing your cock with the hammer is one of the methods you could actually tenderize your meat. How else could I? Because I see that. I listen, man. I puts my ears to the grounds and I fucking listens. How else could you tenderize your meat? If you've got a cock, I would recommend find yourself a door. Place your cock between the door. Slam the door. Slam it really hard on your cock multiple times for 5 to 10 minutes. Repeat as much as necessary to find your meat getting tenderized. You're like, how do I know if it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes? Should I be going a little bit longer, a little bit, you know, there's no exact science to this. Everybody is different. There's no one-sized tenderizing of the meat for everybody. So slam your cock between a door as hard as possible for about 5 to 10. Start off, I'd say start off with just a minute, just 30 seconds. You're like, I don't want to do it, it's too hard. You got to do, things that are challenging. Slam your cock in between the 30 seconds and then move your way up. Every week, add 30 seconds. Every 2 weeks, add whatever works for you. But 30 seconds, just do it repeatedly. Just slam the door until it's black, purple, blue, green, a little bit of yellow. If pus and fluids start coming out, it means it's working. It means it's, because you asked the question, you're like, how do I tenderize my meat? All right. Just giving back. How else could you tenderize your meat? You're like, I'm not in a situation where I have access to, doors. I get it, fam. I've been there. Doors can be hard to come across. I say if you've got like a vehicle of sorts, there are doors on vehicles. A lot of times cars have doors. It's the same thing. Grab your cock, put it between the car door, slam it repeatedly, over and over on your cock, and that is how you could tenderize your meat. You could also go to like a, university football or just a football, find a football team, like, big boys. Grab your cock, pull it out, have 2, 3, 4, 5 football players, maybe place the football near your cock, have them repeatedly just kind of tackle your cock and just, repeatedly have it there, have the ball right on your cock, and as soon as they're charging, hut, 49, hot forever, then raise the ball and then have them slam into your cock at full speed. You're like, what if I'm a female? Yeah, and that could happen too. That's 50% of the time, 50-50. That's what they say. So they say that. You could be a female, and I get it. You're like, I'm not too sure if I can actually put my puss between a door. I'm not quite, because it's easier for a cock. A lot of times people will make excuses for themselves, and that's a shame, because yes, although your genitalia does not extend outward, it's still out there. So you could pull on it, you could stretch it. I say start with maybe like a cabinet drawer. If a door's too hard, just a cabinet drawer. Everybody's got a cabinet drawer. Kind of just like lean on it, how you'd lean on it sometimes to kind of like rub your clit on it. Instead of getting off, put a little bit of effort into it and slam your badge right in between the drawer, the cabinet drawer, and just slam it hard. Again, 5 to 10 minutes. For the ladies, it's the same thing. You got to gauge it. I'm not telling you to go like 10 minutes on the first day. I'm not telling you not to go 10 minutes on the first day either. I don't know your body. I don't know your mind. All right? But this can work for anybody. For ladies, yes, it is a little bit more challenging, I suppose. Go to a tennis court, a local tennis court, maybe like a, rec center. You actually don't need to play tennis. I suggest you just stand in front of somebody who does, and without protecting yourself or holding your hands up to cover any genitalia, just stand there and let them just take 100 shots with a tennis ball at your vagina. That'll definitely tenderize your meat. How else could you tenderize your vag? I say, just kind of like if there's a judge, find a judge at a courtroom, because they like playing with that gavel, right? They like playing with it, because sometimes women might have a difficult time using a hammer or a gavel. So if you find a judge, they're just as good with the gavel as they are with the hammer. When they're finished judging, kind of like lay on your back, spread eagle, and just have them just hit your vag for 5 to 10 minutes. You could go to a construction site. There's plenty of fellas, some ladies in there working with tools as well that could also like hit your vagina, maybe using a wrench would work, screwdriver not so much. You need something with a heavy tip, with something that could actually put a little bit of force behind it, give it a little bit of velocity to it. You need something. So pointy objects don't tend to work. Screwdrivers, get out of here with that shit. A hammer, gavel, these things work. get a rubber band. Just kind of get a rubber band and just put it between two fingers, raise it back and release it. Hit your puss for about, I'd say 150, 200 times, 3 to 4 times a week. That should probably tenderize your meat. Again, I'm just doing my research out there. I'm not telling you that I've got the answers. I'm just saying that I'm here trying to be of service. And if you find this useful, then please just spread the message, because there's plenty of people out there, and at nighttime people are going to sleep thinking, man, I'm never gonna find a way to tenderize my meat. I guess that's it for me. They're just fucking giving up. And I say enough of that shit. If you got a good piece of info, just fucking pass it around, because they say this, the age of information. Not so much age of layers. Truth is hard to come by. It's difficult. You got to do a lot to this, but information is plenty out there. If you find good ones, pass it around, share it, okay? Tenderize your meat today for free. This would not cost you anything. A lot of people would charge you for this shit. Giving it away for free, because again, I'm a giver, lover and a giver. What's going on in and around the world in the science community? In the science community, scientists or astronomers or people maybe in the NASA's, people who look into space, people who look outward instead of inward, which says a lot about these folks. Maybe you should take a little time to look inside. But nonetheless, we're glad that they're looking outside as well. They have found 200 moons surrounding Saturn. Saturn has 200 moons, ladies and gentlemen. Up until now, we just thought Saturn had a regular amount of moons or whatever, and maybe some rings. But all of a sudden, Saturn's getting in the planetary system, and the whole oh look, and it's showing off, and it's fucking showing off. This Saturn doesn't have life on it as far as we know, but it has 200 moons. It's showing off, to be honest with you. I'm not saying we need to do something about it, but like low key, if we let it go, that kind of just, that sets an example. That kind of sets the bar for, other planets to get all fucking, just cocky and walking and be like, look at us with all our moons and showing, because we're on Earth, one of the most litty places, out there as far as we're concerned for the time being. We got one moon, one sun, all right? So every once in a while we'll get like an asteroid that may or may not hit us, but this Saturn, no buildings, no electricity, 200 moons. But by the way, I should say this, all the moons are not perfectly like spherical, like beautiful, like ours is. Some of them are just, they're like the, Uggo moons. They're deformed, but they're just fucking circling it or just hovering around. I don't know what they're doing, but that's just too much. It's just too much. So I thought to myself, why don't we extract a few? Why don't we go grab the moons? I know it's like going there is probably difficult, but like what if we go in there, staying there is probably difficult, but I bet we could go, maybe we send something to retrieve a couple of the moons, bring them back here. We should get those moons. Like it's too many for Saturn. There's nobody there to enjoy them anyway. You know what I mean? Because if there was somebody there to enjoy it, then there'd be some sense behind it. I'm suggesting we forego all our immediate, necessary things that we need to focus on, and go grab some of those moons, at least like half, and bring them here to Earth and just kind of like make them hover around. It'd be pretty nice to have extra moons, not gonna lie to you. You do see some sci-fi, movies or, anime or whatever, and there's a planet and there's multiple moons and suns and shit. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see that. So all I'm saying is Saturn is not deserving of these planets, of these moons. It's too many. There's no people to watch it, and it sucks. Because you know how you go outside and it's a romantic evening and you and your sweetheart are just, cupping each other's tits, and you're like, oh, look at the moon. Yeah, look at your moon with her tits in the palm of your hand, and it's the moon that you're focused on. Imagine having like multiple moons, How much longer could you be cupping those tits, watching all the multiple moons? It's way more moons, way more cupping, She's fucking going down on you, sucky. Look at the beautiful moon, sloppy, messy head. One moon, imagine multiple moons. Sloppier head. Correlation, causation, maybe. There's something there. But also, yeah, perhaps maybe this is the reason why we haven't found life anywhere else, scientists. focusing on rocks and plants. Focus on life, all right? Focus on finding life. I don't need to find 200 moons surrounding Saturn unless it's got life on it. But otherwise, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a good job. Doing a good job. A little bit of, constructive criticism never hurt anybody. So, you're doing your best. That's great. But like, keep an eye out on living things as well. Just do your best. Do your best. You're good. You're doing good stuff. Ladies and gents, it's Friday.
Green face bench, I see you walking down the street. Green face bench, makes you wanna ski, ski, ski. I said green face bench, makes you wanna ski, ski, ski. Green face bench, let me suckle on your teeth.
Ladies and gents, I believe an Australian man was in Australia because that's where he's from. He's in Australia. But nonetheless, the important thing is that this beautiful Australian man got a heart transplant with a fully artificial heart, and he lived up to 100 days, giving him ample time to not die and get an artificial or like a transplant or like a donor heart, a dart. And that's what he did, and he lived, and that's one of the firsts in the human species, I believe, as far as we're concerned. Artificial heart, fully artificial. I don't know what it's made of. Silicone, a little bit of metal, a little bit of wood. I don't know the material, to be honest. A little bit of bronze, a little bit of, whatever, tapioca, whatever it's made out of. A little bit of jizz, probably to hold it all together. I'm not quite sure of what materials are used, but nonetheless, fake heart. This motherfucker lived with it. It's fascinating. I'm so glad that we're doing this together. And I'd say we, as in, again, the collective, I probably had, again, a lot to do with this project, as I do with many projects out there. I don't normally take credit for things. I work very similar to Dykes. Same thing. Holding a lot of water back, not, being all about me. It's more for the team. I do it for the scientific community, us, we did it together. I happen to be spearheading this movement with coming up with artificial limbs, because that's just what I do. I do podcasts, comedy, try to go out there and do spots. It's, doing my thing. And then on my spare time, fucking artificial limbs and hearts. So you're welcome. Don't ask me how I did it. I just do it. It's sort of a thing that I just, whatever. It's no big deal. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that this man lived 100 days with an artificial heart. And it's fascinating because at one point or another, we do got to stop and ask ourselves, what is a human? What is a human if not flesh and bones and maybe like a spirit inside? Because if there's a fake heart in this human, is he a real human, or is he half bot, half human, or half human, half bot, or 5 to 10% bot, 90, 80 human? What is that? Is it a new form? Should we be treating the same? Should we be treating them the same as regular people, as like regular, good humans like us, or should we be making fun of them and pointing them out in public and saying, freak, you freak of nature, you sacrilegious fuck, you defying nature and maybe God if you believe in it. I don't know. Should we be spawn of Satan? Should we be pointing to him and ridiculing him in public? The time has passed now. Others will come in the future with artificial body parts like hearts. Because they say your heart is, don't think with your heart, think with your mind. They'll say that because what do we do as humans? Sometimes we do think with our hearts. It's not just pumping blood. It's a lot more to being human than just a muscle, just squeezing and just pumping blood. That's one thing. But there is a thing, they say the heart kind of how you see, or your gut feeling. They say these things, gut feelings. Don't think with your gut, go with your mind. Or reverse these, go with your gut, don't go with your mind. Whatever they say. There's a lot internally that makes a human. If you replace those body parts, don't think with your heart. This motherfucker can't, because he's got a heart of iron or steel or metal. Can he even feel feelings? Could he fall in love? Is it a requirement for you to have a actual, mushy, muscly heart that's, made of flesh, that's made of, body parts? Or could you also fall in love with the metal heart? Could you do that? Or is this guy just going to become like, very analytical, very just cold-hearted, very like, just moving forward, progressing in life because he's not, concerned with matters of the heart. He's just a cold-blooded, or still warm blood, but nonetheless with a fake. How does it feel? How does it feel, you monster? We're so glad that you're alive. You're not a monster. You're just like us. They're just like us. They're human. They deserve to be treated just like us with respect, but low key. I'm asking, should they? Should they? Are they just like us? Maybe they're not just like us, or maybe who knows? It's interesting to ask, because who knows what comes after. We've already got all sorts of fake body limbs, just people, fake arms, fake legs. What's next? A fake brain? That one's still probably far away, but nonetheless, I am a little bit, I feel good about it, but also it would actually extend everybody's life. Would that mean if we could just get replacement body parts, if this guy got one, down the line, there's going to be ones where you don't actually need a donor. That artificial heart could last longer, maybe even 10 years, and then the future, maybe an entire lifetime. You don't even need a donor, which would be pretty nice. But at the same rate, then it goes to, what about like people dying at one point? If you're just turning into a car that needs body parts replaced, and the earth is just going to be filled with a lot of people just because nobody's dying and everybody's getting their, brains and eyes and noses and ears replaced every, 6 to 8 months or 8,000 to 12,000 kilometers. How's that going to add up? Is the earth going to get heavier? Would we sink down if the earth got heavier after a certain amount of people? Because right now, I did the math right now, and you're asking, why would you, because I care. For example, I had to do my research and find out how much does the entirety of the combined weight of all the pussy in the world, how much does it weigh? And apparently it weighs roughly around the same weight as 2 Empire State Buildings together, or like 13% of the Great Pyramid of Giza. That's the entirety of that's the entire mass of all the pussy in the world, if you were to collect all of them, if that's how much. And what if we ended up with more puss? Which I'm not complaining, but at the same time, we're probably gonna get a couple of dicks in there too. So that's a lot of puss. That's all I'm just saying. Think about it before you start, everybody should get a fake heart. Everybody should live till 1,000. Should we? Or then yes, maybe we should then. Maybe we should. Maybe we will then. Maybe we are then. Maybe we should then. Maybe we could. Maybe we will then. Maybe we should then, could, would. This one, ladies and gents, this one just came out of the blue, or it was, I guess we could have kind of seen it. People were doing this maybe like 5, 10, maybe even 20 years ago. Chinese citizens were flying over to certain destinations like the United States, like Canada, maybe Australia, maybe the UK. I'm not quite sure where else they're doing, but there was a thing. There was a emergence of a trend. It was called birthing tourism, or birth tour, or tourist babies, something along those lines. Birthing tourism, tourist babies, birthing tourists, tourist birthing, touring tourist baby birthers. That's right. People who, and not just the Chinese, I guess there are other people, mainly there's the news articles and the videos that I saw online were about Chinese citizens coming over prior, while pregnant, flying over to Canada, United States, and other places, and then giving birth to babies, getting a passport, a US passport, and then flying back and going back to China. And that's what was happening 5, 10, 20 years ago, maybe. Not quite sure exactly when, but it was going on. And that was something that they did. And sometimes that's whatever it is, what it is. You do, you do what you do. Playa, you do what you do, playa. Then people start to ask questions, because they're like, oh, if this baby, woman and man may come over, give birth to their child is not technically American or Canadian or wherever, and then they go back to China with a passport for the baby. You're like, no problem, baby, passport, babies are stupid. What do stupid babies need passport for? It's not like the baby's going traveling, collecting stamps in his or her passport. And you're right, babies don't. Babies are dumb. Babies are retarded. We all know that. They're codependent, third-class citizens at best. But nonetheless, bunch of mooches. But nonetheless, I guess, There's an appeal somewhere in there. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that these babies, fast forward 20 years from now, could potentially be used by the Chinese government or other nations as well, maybe, to potentially do some spying on us, which sucks. So they're doing that, but that was the past. That was just the past. Baby was already in the womb with the mother and father, travel unknowingly and get a passport, go back. Now there's a new way they're doing it. It's called rent a womb. Rent a womb is what they're doing. Chinese couples in China, in order to get their baby a passport for the United States, are mixing their jizz with their female partner's eggs, sending it abroad. Over here, getting a surrogate to house the said mixed jizz and egg, give birth to the said jizz and egg, create a Chinese baby in the United States with a surrogate mother, ship the baby back. Baby gone. Baby gone with a passport, is now a US citizen. No problem. What's a baby gonna do with a passport? Nothing. Nothing. Just grow up, enjoy a little bit of Chinese food, just learn a little bit of the martial arts, learn Chinese, regular Chinese baby things. Fast forward 20 years passes by, baby is a grown man. Baby could potentially become a threat and become a spy. And that's not good. So there's that. That's happening right now. There's Chinese people renting wombs, which I don't have. I can't rent mine. I know the ladies are charging, I heard 70K, 200K, somewhere around there. I don't have a womb, but I could use the money. I don't know what they'll do with the babies. How to remedy this. I'll grow it on my shoulder. Don't worry about how we'll grow. Just give me the money. I will grow it in my scrotum. Do you care where the baby, whatever. All right. How about I find like a crack whore on the street and like get her to take like a couple of thou, have the baby. I keep the rest of the money. It's actually not a bad idea. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that you need to be thinking, and we need to be thinking how to remedy this. Because they might be doing it to, just for funsies, or they might be doing it to get spies in the future. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, we need to fight this, and we need to fight it at, just nip it in the bud. And there's this a loophole. There's no stopping it for the time being. That is, people can do that. You can actually send jizz and eggs across the borders, have it inserted in a womb, without you ever stepping on the premise. That's crazy. How do we stop it? I don't know, but one thing we could do, find these babies before they go get shipped back to China, chip them, chip the babies. There you go, chip the babies, get involved with like Neuralink, if Elon can get in there, chip the babies, make sure that their brains can never fully develop, or like whatever, leave their brains, let it develop, but like also control it via chips. Chip the babies, Chinese chip babies, that's what we'll call them. We'll know where they are. We got them on GPS. Chip the babies. Somehow we got to find out where. It's a whole thing. So find out where they are first, but then chip the babies. That's one remedy. 2, find the babies. Don't give them back. That's what happens when you send jizz and eggs over here without us knowing you're sending jizz and eggs. It's our baby now. We keep the babies. That's option number 2. Raise them in a foster home. Give them up for adoption. Cruel. The parents should have known by now, or they should have known better. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, that we got to fight it. Other ways, chip the babies, make the babies develop poorly, make retarded babies, send retarded babies back. They think they're getting regular babies, send really retarded babies back, so that they have to spend a lot of time raising retarded babies, and there's no way that baby is going to be like a problem or like a spy. Or maybe it becomes like a novice and in the beginning, and then learns to, gradually gain experience as a retarded. Maybe it's a novice baby at first, doesn't know what it's doing, but then eventually, I don't know how it's gonna go, to be honest with you. They're all novices, they're babies, of course they don't, so that's, doesn't matter. The point is we need to fight it. All right, here, we'll do this. If they're doing it, we should do it too. If they're doing it, we should do it too. If you're a patriot right now, I recommend you jizz into a mason cup And I recommend you get your lady to just kind of pop a couple of eggs into said mason jar, shake mason jar, ship it to China, rent a room, get a couple of American, Canadian babies born in China, and then send them back so that they have Chinese passports. That's right. I think that's how we should fight it. We should, because if they're doing it, we should do it too. Or leave the babies there. Leave the babies there. We should just let them be in the culture. Just fucking let them be. Grow up. Have a. And then chip those baby. Can we chip the sperm and the egg so that the babies go there, get birthed, chipped in babies are chip-in babies already, pre-chipped babies. Can we do that? Can we do that? Maybe like a couple of, black babies, a couple of white babies, a couple of Hispanic, Middle Eastern, European, Asian, whatever. Just send them, whatever, from us. Send our batch. Jizz. Because we gotta fight jizz with jizz, man. You can't just be like, I see your jizz. You gotta raise jizz when you see jizz. I know I've been unloading by myself for some time, but if need be, I will save some. If you want me to save my jizz and mix it with an egg, send it over anywhere in the world, not just China, North Korea, Russia, places in the Middle East, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, all around I will send jizz anywhere. I don't care. As long as, if I know my team needs my jizz, it's in a little envelope, signed, sealed, and delivered. Consider it done. At the end of the day, I bleed red, and that's the color of Canada, and the United States. It's blue and white too in there. So it's like you get it. I bleed blood, and I come jizz, and I'm just saying, I don't have an envelope ready, nor a mason jar. But if need be, I'll make a trip to the dollar store. If need be, push comes to shove, I'll make that trip. Don't fucking test me. Just test me, dog. Just test me. And it's in a mason jar right now, isn't it? It's in a mason jar right now. It's sitting on top of my fridge. You just let me know where you want me to send it. I'll send it. It's Jizz City. You want to fight jizz with jizz? We'll get you jizz. So that's happening. I don't know what to do about it. I've already offered some potential remedies, and you do with it what you will. For your eyes only, for jizz only, for jizz and eggs. I don't know, we gotta come up with a good, it's gotta be, Operation Jizz. Operation Jizz and Eggs. What else is going on in and around? A lot of stuff has been going on in and around the world, but nonetheless, let's just take a moment for a second. Green face bitch, I see you walking down the street, and green face bitch makes you wanna ski, ski, ski. Green face bitch, let me suckle on your teeth. What else is going on? Hungary is a nation in Europe. They're Hungarian. They're hungry, and they are banning. I believe the government of Hungary wants to ban Pride parades. They want to ban the parade of Pride. They're saying I'm not saying, they're saying it. They want to ban it because they're saying it might be harmful to children to get exposed to homos when they're children. So I don't know. That's their reasoning. In order to protect the children, they're saying no to the Pride parade. The parade, I believe, is still going to go on, I think, but the government's kind of coming out and saying that, hey, if you do gay shit in the streets, there's gonna be fines. You're gonna be fined, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not there. I read an article. It said that they're gonna be using artificial intelligence and facial recognition to identify the gays who are with the parade and fining them. And that is a slippery slope. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like if you're gonna get rid of something, you should. I feel like everybody feels like this. I feel like if you're gonna get rid of something, like getting rid of the Pride parade, you should. They say if you're trying to quit a habit or whatever, replace the habit instead of just cold turkey, replacing it, and them not replacing it, as I believe that's where everybody's got that. Everybody's got nobody's. That's we don't got no qualms with nothing, but you got to come up with a solution. You can't just you got to replace it. So perhaps if they were to replace the Pride parade with a shame parade. That'd be something that everybody could be like, okay, at least we have shame. Then there's no pride. At least there's shame. So like a week or a day of how, I don't know how long they celebrate, like a day or two, like a week-long shame fest. Just people shaming each other for whatever, body weight, body odor, lack of hair, too much hair, too much height, not enough height, too thin, too thick, whatever, you name it. We could shame people for anything. Works too much, doesn't work enough, runs fast, never ran, lifts too much, doesn't lift at all, eats too much, doesn't eat a bite, just whatever. It could be like, odd number of work days for this guy, make fun of this guy where he's got odd number of work days, and whatever, find out, pants that are, a little bit baggy now. All of a sudden he's like, buying baggy pants, whatever. Just shaming, good shaming. Tucks in his shirt, doesn't tuck enough. Circumcised peen, not enough circumcised peen. 2 circumcisions on this guy. Negative. Circumcised deficient. This guy's got, FGM. Oh, look at this chick with her FGM puss. Look at this chick with her genital mutilated vagina. Or not enough female genital mutilation on this one. How about that? Ugh, shame. So, replace it with something. That's what most people are concerned about. Or maybe, I don't know. The facial recognition thing doesn't make me feel too comfortable. But I think I think that's just, one of today's themes. It doesn't have a theme really to it, but I think it's just like the new age of doing that. I think that's just, a lot of people are doing that. A lot of, you might hear it at an airport, they're doing facial recognition. There might be doing it in stores, It happened in Pandy Schmandy when people were walking in stores. They're like, we got to use facial recognition. Guess what? The masks are on. It can't recognize you. Got to take the mask off now. It can't. It's a whole thing. We're doing facial recognition. I think that's one of the biggest takeaways. I'm not too sure how I feel about the gay parade thing. Because I'm trying to learn, grow as a human. I have no problems with it, no problems. I do just from I do think about it in terms of like, if you do want something to be quote unquote normal or normalized, then why have a parade and have people be a spectacle? Because you don't have like straight parades, because again, that's quote unquote normal, or it is, or whatever. But like if so is gay or whatever else, then that should just exist without a parade, because otherwise you're gawking and pointing and saying this is a special group and they're no different, then why are they special to this? So lack of parade doesn't necessarily, I'm not quite sure, but at the same rate, I don't know whatever. I genuinely love people. I don't care in terms of, I don't particularly care maybe for like, fellas in G-strings and cocks flying in public and, with a 3 or 5-year-old just walking by, cock in his face. Don't want to see that. I don't have kids. I don't want a cock in my kid's face if I had a kid. Could they, also, if you're afraid of your kid getting, exposed to gay ideologies too early and turning gay, kids want to often rebel to their parents when they're coming of age. So if you're afraid of them becoming gay, you become gay. Gay it up hard so that your kid sees you sucking cock. And then he's like, I want to be different from my dad. Meanwhile, you're not gay, dude. You're just sucking cock for your kid, all right? You're eating your lesbian friend's puss between the Pilates class in front of your daughter or your young son so that they see you, so that they're like, oh, I want to be different from mom and dad. And they'll grow up straight. So reverse psychology, that should nip it in the bud. If it's already out there, take them to the parade yourself. Get on top of because that's the thing. Children often at a certain point, there's a certain point where they don't realize anything. There's no concept of shaming kids. At a certain point, they start developing a little bit of brain, and then they're like, oh, maybe what is this shame thing? At around that age, when you figure it out for each kid, it's different, whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is, as soon as they start kind of getting the concept of shame, take them to the parade, climb on top of one of the, rides or what, ride a cock for like 3 hours and just, wear spandex, leather, chains, necklaces around your neck, chokers or whatever, and just get whipped by a guy in like a biker suit with assless chaps, do that for 3-4 years in a row, I think your kid is just going to go in a different direction and be like, if you want your kid to not be gay, that is, you should suck cock. That's what I'm saying. I think that's how it works. I don't know these things, but that's the facial recognition part was the biggest thing. But I think overall, with a number of other things that I think we don't care anymore, it just doesn't matter. So, but it is something to think about. I think just for gathering in public and not being facially recognized, or should, because then how do you stop the terrorisms, dude? You got to have it on facial recognition. So I don't know. I'm torn. I'm on many subjects as I'm learning and going along the way. I just keep getting torn on this. That's just, I feel like I'm getting torn on subjects, and because it's everything's got multiple facets and sides. So no facial recognition, then it's fucking crime city. Then or something they say, or there's that what they say to get the facial recognition in. I don't know if you're whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is, suck a dick if you don't want your kid to be gay. There. Solutions. Okay. Telling you right now, if your kid sees you just glazed like a Boston cream donut, I'm telling you right now, they are gonna go the opposite direction. That always works, or it doesn't, or it doesn't, or it does, or it does. It does. Go for it. Get a strap on, rhyme on a lesbian. Do it. Ladies and gents, what else is going on? That was hungry. I believe that was hungry. Serbian government. This was very cool. This was very interesting. I'm not the situation. The situation I don't know what is happening in Serbia, but there's a large protest. I don't know if you've seen it on the lines or not. Hundreds of thousands of people in the street. I believe they're protesting against government corruption. I'm not in Serbia. I guess the government is like many governments around the world to some degree, varying degrees of there's corruption there. I don't know what they're doing. Not there. So I don't know. There's corruption. People are upset about it. Who likes corruption? Nobody does. Corruption is, it's not good for people. People don't like it. So they're protesting. What was interesting is that there's a few seconds or moments rather when the people are protesting in the streets, and all of a sudden the protesters just spread and nobody knows what's going on, but there's rumors, there's allegedly usage of sonic weapons on the populace to deter them, to kind of, make the protest break up. Has that been the case? Are we doing that? Do we have the technology? Apparently long-range acoustic devices were found around or videoed or captured onto, I don't know. They found a couple of cars with these long-range acoustic devices on the population. Apparently it's not legal. I'm not quite sure about it, if it is or it isn't. But it was pretty neat to see you see the video. It's people crowded, all gathered, protesting. All of a sudden, a loud noise of sorts, or like a whistling noise goes off, allegedly. I don't know. People have felt sick after. They felt shivers, shakes. Some people cried, some threw up, allegedly. I don't know. And did they use it or not? Is that a thing? Probably is a thing. Definitely right. Definitely acoustic vibrations. You can fucking, make a person just bleed from their ears and that is sick shit. That is like not in a good way. Like it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie to you, but like to use it on people, not good. The fact that we have the technology, pretty cool. I wonder what else you could do with noises. With noises in populations, could you get them to if they can make you just like feel sick, could they make you feel good? I suppose that's called music, vibrations, acoustic. Goodness is music, makes you want to dance, makes you want to, just get loose, have a good time. That's positive noises versus negative noises. But that's something that happened in Serbia. Is there a way to fight it? I'm not sure. If there's earplugs maybe you could use. If I don't know if it's going to get confirmed or not, but what if they did use it? What if that's the case? Is there repercussions against that? Because people should have the right to protest. I'm definitely for for important things, people should have so plug your ears. I would suggest jizz and Kleenex and crumple it and shove it in your ears. That always seems to help me. What else could you do? You could give into it, enjoy the experience, kind of think of it as it's maybe you Remember, you probably drank at one point in your life and you threw up and you felt better after. Could be like that. Could be like, sometimes you take a mushroom trip and right before it kicks in, you throw up beforehand. Sometimes, not all the time. But then after you feel good. You go through ups and downs, but you'll feel good after. It's a learning experience. I don't know the long-term effects of this. I don't know, will they, could you fuck up a system and could you fuck up a human body's overall system, like the sense of equilibrium? Could you cause long-term damage with that? Is it just like, because we don't know these things, the public, the average person, if it's something to be, it's interesting. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. And then if you're a fan of long-range, acoustic devices, leave a comment if you'd like to use them on yourself or anybody that your loved ones. It's good to, if you're ever, if you throw a party and you want people to kind of like bounce at a certain hour, there should be like a switch you could hit and like, get everybody just, when everybody's in, it's been too long. It's like 5 a.m. Go home. Should be a little, there should be a little bit of that available too for the masses, for mass consumption as well. I'm just saying. Or traffic, it could be great in traffic. Sometimes people are just like fucking, just dozing off behind the wheel, not paying attention. Just hit a button, get rid of traffic. That'd be pretty nice. I like it in my car. I would like it in crowded spaces for personal use. If it's available to the army, the government, regular people have it too. That's what I'm asking. That's what I do, because I care for the regular, average, everyday person, because that's what I am, and I'd like some of these devices. It's pretty not to use, but just to have. You never know. It's better to have it than not need it than need it and not have it. It's that old saying. It's with everything. But nonetheless, that's Serbia, ladies and gents. What else is going on? I'm glad you asked. It's been, again, very fruitful. A lot of stuff has been going on. I believe the Canadian government, at least in Ontario here in Canada, and I believe Australia as well, the Ontario Police, the OPP, Ontario Provincial Police, and the Australian government are allegedly using a spyware created by a company called Paragon to hack phones. I don't know to what extent. It's becoming one of those things that's again, we're in the age of we're going through some new. It's good to know certain things. It's good to know, but I wonder to what extent. They're using it. They're saying they might be using it on journalists. They might be using it on some, immigrant activists or I don't know who they're using it on. The fact of the matter is that they do have the technology. There is a spyware. Maybe you've heard of this. Paragon, others are out there. Like, they could just hack your phone. They don't even need to, it doesn't need to be, they just need your phone number, and that's it. And that's not hard to find. So they could potentially hack anybody's phone. All I'm saying is, again, we are living in the age of truths are coming out, or it's parts of truths. A little bit more information is constantly coming out, which is good. I'm just wondering, could I have access to these softwares I want to make bank. I want to know, I want to listen on to like some people who are like maybe doing insider trading. I would love to know what they're betting on or what they're taking in and out of the stock market. I would like to get my hands on some cash as well, because I don't know much about the stock market. I tried asking ChatGPT and Grok, and none of these bitches want to fucking work. I said, make $100 every day. It just comes up with excuses. Oh, the market is this, the market is that. Are you smart or not? Are you supposed to be smarter or not? Then figure it out. Figure it out, AI. Not happy with the fact that they can't do it, but there's regular people who have their hand or finger on the pulse of the market. Nancy Pelosi is one of those bad. She's a bad bitch. She's a bad bitch with the, I like the fact that she's making bank. I don't know too much about her, other extracurricular activities. Nonetheless, it's just one example. Warren Buffett, whoever is in the market, I want to just tap their phones, know what they're selling when they're buying it. It's just, I like some insider information. Can your boy wet his beak? Can others wet their beak? Or is it just like a tool for the government against the people? Can everybody use it is all I'm asking. It should be for everybody. If it's something, we should all have it. No? Yes? I want some information that'll lead to really large sums of money. Who doesn't want that? All I'm saying is I don't care about your, you have a different purpose. You're probably using it for terrorisms. I'm glad that you are. I want to use it to make monies like everybody else. So can I have it? Let me know. Paragon spyware. How do I get some? I don't care what my neighbors are doing. I don't care. You care about terrorism. I'm glad that you are caring about that. But again, I just want to know, are there fixed matches in gambling? Because gambling and as people who are, I'd like to find out if there's, a sporting event that is rigged. I'd like to know. Not that sporting events are rigged. Some of them might be, so I don't know, but I'd like to find out. I'd like to listen to some managers. I'd like to listen to some, some agents. I'd like to listen to some, it's just good information I wouldn't, normally have access to. I don't care about the terrorism. You do that. That's your job. I want us, the regular people, to have a little bit of useful information. Because again, the ChatGPT and Grok just want to be fucking, gatekeeping, cock blockers with the money-making schemes. And all I'm saying is, let your boy wet his beak. That's what I'm saying. So I want that Paragon stuff. If it's available to, because that's what they do. That's what they do. A lot of it is like used for obviously fighting terrorisms, rightly so. You want to kind of like, I get it. Again, growing learning, torn on things, many of things. One aspect, it holds back terrorisms from happening. Yet every once in a while, we still have terrorism activities happening. And it's like, what's it used for? Mass surveillance? Maybe that too. So it's a bunch of truths being all true at the same time. So, it's just, I like to get some. I don't want it to just be used. I'm not saying it's used on me. I'm just saying it's used on the masses, public. I don't care about me. You might say that too. You're like, I don't got nothing to hide. I don't got nothing to hide either. I'm just saying I'd like to have some insider information to make bank so that I could, what ifs. Don't worry about it. The point is it's happening. I guess it's just one of those, and we're learning more. As we go along, we learn more, we add more to our, and we change perception and it's interesting because I'm glad that there's more of this information out there, because before, back in the day, maybe like 20, 30, 50 years ago, it was, even prior to that, it was more so that the government was like, well, you can't handle the truth and we do things for your own good. But I like the fact that we're all realizing, hey, we're all people and government officials are essentially people. Why should some people have certain powers over others? It's a whole gaping pool of questions that lead to other questions that lead to other questions. But I want to wet my beak is all I'm saying. Can I have some? What else is going on in and around the world? Oh, it's a beautiful moment on live television that got captured. Hilaria Baldwin, Alec Baldwin's wife, snapped at Alec Baldwin on a red carpet somewhere. I don't know. There was an event. I believe it was a red carpet event. That's what the headline says. That's what the video sort of said. I'm not quite sure. It's like an 8 to 10 minute video, maybe even a little bit shorter. It doesn't matter. They're having an interview. And Hilaria snaps at Alec Baldwin. I'd just like to take this moment in time and say that Hilaria's got a lot of balls, because she like snaps at Alec Baldwin. They're talking, they're being interviewed. And he's doing his thing, she's doing there. At first it's good, at first everything's all right. But then there's a moment where he chimes in a little bit too much maybe and distracts her, or causes her to like lose her momentum or whatever. It doesn't matter. But she like snaps. She's like, cut him out, or like don't talk when I talk. She says something along those lines. One of those moments when couples fight in the public, which is you don't want it for anybody to happen, but when it does happen and you watch it, it's just one of those most beautiful things that does happen. It's funny as fuck. It's just funny as fuck. When couples fight in public, it's the most hilarious thing ever. Of course, it happens in every relationship, but there's certain conversations you want to have in private. There's certain conversations you want to have in the public. Sometimes those private conversations, come to the public light. And she's got a lot of balls. I'll say that. She's got a lot of balls. Because at the end of the day, the way she snapped it, you're snapping at again, tragic event, circumstances that is, that Alec Baldwin's been involved in for the past few years, whatever, however long it's been, with the killing of the shooting at the set, with the movie, the Rust movie, where he killed the video assistant, photographer, whatever. There was a lady who died. He killed her. Nonetheless, killer, not in the traditional sense, in a just black and white sort of yes, he did. So the fact that this lady has got the balls to be like, it's nice to see that. It's just one of those moments. Every healthy relationship is about learning lessons. We're learning lessons from watching that. And some people might say it's emasculating for Alec Baldwin. Others might concur. And others might say that, hey, if you want, a healthy relationship, a good, solid relationship, make sure you put your partner down, especially in front of other people. That always seems to work in terms of like longevity for it. It's fantastic. Put your partner down in public and belittle them, male or female, doesn't matter. Just if you're both doing it, it's even better. Put each other down. fight over the limelight or compete with each other. They say that successful couples compete with one another. Instead of being a unit, compete with one another. You should do that. And always, it's great. It's great. It makes for great television. So that happened. And I'm just saying, again, it takes a lot because there's a moment when she snaps at him, and he's been in front of camera all his life pretty much. So he's well versed in the art of, I guess, communicating with people and all that stuff, and knowing that he's being filmed and all that. So he does keep his composure, but no, there's a point where he's staring at her, where there's like death rays just going across, despite the fact that, loves her, probably loves her. Well, I don't know their dynamic, probably does, but there's a death stare, crying like, oh, bitch, if there were no cameras around, I'd snap your neck out. You could see it in his eyes. You could see it in his eyes. Or maybe I don't know, maybe I'm just, it's what I got from it. I don't know what it was. It's beautiful though. It's beautiful. Don't worry about it. Happens. Watch their show. I think they got a show with something. Maybe it's I don't know. But if there's more of that on the show, I'd like to see more of that. That was, because it was just like, and that's the thing. Sometimes, I feel bad. I feel bad sometimes for, I'll just say it. I just sometimes feel bad for the whites. I feel bad for the whites because it's been a long time. You can't hit your kids. You can't hit your kids. Definitely can't hit your wife. And not to say other people do, but other people around the world might do that though sometimes, because I'll give you an example. Elon Musk, one of his kids, just I read a article headline. I didn't even read the article itself. One of his daughters, he's got 275 kids, doesn't matter. One of his daughters, the headline read, Elon Musk's daughter says that my dad's salute was a Nazi salute. That's, no other, I'm sorry, but that's white children, you gotta appreciate your parents, man. That is foul shit. That is some foul shit. Can't say that shit about your dad. It's your dad, man. Doesn't matter he's got 275 kids, doesn't probably see you. You're loaded for life. He's a trillionaire. I could have never imagined a breadwinner of any other, dermis setting, you know what I mean? Darker shades, lighter shades, doesn't matter, yellow, black, Middle Eastern, European, any other, if your dad or mom was the breadwinner, and they're killing it out there, Monopoly, killing it in Monopoly. He's the Monopoly guy. And you go on I don't even know if the article is true. It doesn't matter. It's in a reputable newspaper. Nonetheless, the article headline said, Elon Musk's daughter says, no, his dad's salute was a Nazi salute. Oh my God, bitch. How you gonna disrespect a man like that? He's a trillionaire. He won the game, all of it. There's nothing left for anybody else. He won the game. Your dad won so much. He won so much. He won so much, bitch. Bitch, he won so much. Oh. And sometimes I just feel bad because you can't hit your kid. You can't. If it was a Middle Eastern dad, or a black dad somewhere else, or what, maybe even, I don't know, I'm just saying different households do different. I'm not saying, people do, people don't. I'm just saying sometimes you wish you could just be hey, there's this game of adult Monopoly and I'm numero uno by a landslide. Nobody comes even fucking close. Put some respect on your dad's name. Go to your rooms. Plural, they have rooms. Go to one of your houses. Go to, So I feel bad. You definitely can't hit your wife, of course. These are, of course, none of these things. But sometimes, I felt bad for Alec because I could see it in his eye. I wants to just fucking, this was 50 years ago, bitch. But none of that today, of course. And then, of course, good. There should never be any of that. I'm just saying the feeling, though, hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, it's one of those things. I'm just saying, I do feel bad because, again, Tesla, speaking of Elon Musk, Tesla has been under attack. The company has been under attack. And I guess this is, it's a lot of people love Elon. I'm a fan. I think, I can't, play to play it, play recognize a game recognize a game, play it. I get it. I get happy for people. Trillionaire, multiple kids, multiple companies, tweeting nonstop, owning the company that tweets. That's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But people are out there getting outraged. They're setting, car charging stations on fire. They're throwing fucking, whatever. They're throwing paint at the dealerships or whatever. It's happening a little bit. It's not, I don't recommend it. anybody doing this kind of stuff. It is understandable to a certain degree, though. Again, going back because there's the Monopoly game. He's like, he's the face of the Monopoly guy. He's the face of like Monopoly guy. Not a lot of people have access to that sort of thing. It's kind of like the symbol of the game, and then the game is done and finished and over with, and regular, some people might feel extremely inadequate, but you shouldn't compare yourself. You should get happy for that. I get happy for that. I'm like, oh, sweet, car company, let's go. Do I like the design of the car? No, I think it's shite. The design of it, the aesthetics, but that's just me. A lot of people haven't liked it. It's not the worst thing, but going to fucking saving astronauts, pretty fucking dope. So I try to do the same. I try to do it in my own way. Whatever I can. Did he have a rich father? I don't know if he did or he didn't. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. And I'm like, okay, fine. I gotta do the same. So I gotta find me a rich father. So I'm starting. It doesn't matter. But you take that wealth and you multiply it several times. Still, very, very admirable. Admirable. I'm going to the moon next week. I'm going to the moon right now. Fucking flying. You don't know me. I will go to the moon. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that it's understandable. Of course, should you do it? It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything for you to, go and vandalize car dealerships or blow up cars. Unless your thing is to end up in like jail or prison, which I don't recommend, because in jail or prison, they have, especially if you're a male, I'm sure it happens with female, you get raped. So I don't recommend it unless deep down inside, you have like a internal rape fantasy and you'd like to get raped inside a prison. Then by all means, that's, throw a little bit of pain at a dealership, end up fulfilling fantasies for a lifetime. Breakfast, lunch, dinner is free. You get a workout, play ball, rape. Oh, so it's available. It's one of those things that we all accept. I don't know. So all I'm saying is it won't make a difference. But I'm just saying it's understandable to see how some people might find it. The fact that and it's a little bit of there's a little bit of an oscillation there. There's a little bit of a cognitive dissonance, because it's like two things. He represents different things. He does represent different things. I'm trying to gotta understand the whole thing. One of the aspects that he's in the face of innovation, technology, betterment of humanity, and I'd like to believe that as well. I like to hope that. Of course, I don't know any of these people. I don't know what's inside anybody's mind, just as none of us do until the chips get here. But nonetheless, so I give him the benefit of the doubt. I hope that, and he's doing a lot of good, but at the same rate, you do see a trillionaire who's coming in there and, giving off a lot of, sense of like, coming in and being a part of Doge, being a head of Doge or whatever. And quote unquote, cutting on bureaucracy, but at the same time being being a part of the bureaucracy as well. So there's like there's not, so you do see that happening. It's, but I don't know, in terms, I wish him well. Of course, I want him to have more babies. I have signed up for a baby. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I've signed up for the next baby. We're gonna have it. Elon and I are gonna have a platonic, non-homo baby. And I'm not saying the baby won't turn homo. I'm saying we're not gonna homo, because we're gonna just combine ourselves together. But that's down the line. Got many things to do. So all I'm saying is, I do feel bad a little bit for my whites, as I feel bad for everybody a little bit, but I also feel good for you as well. I feel way more goodness for you. I feel good for you as well. So I feel, just right there with you. Kind of want to be able to like just say, go to your room, smack her in the face, but can't do that. Throw money at them, deprive them of money. That's the way you should go. Deprive them of money. What else is going on in and around the world? Okay, this major one, this is the one that we've been waiting for, this one, ladies and gentlemen. We've been waiting for 50, maybe 60 years for this one. The JFK files are finally out there. You asked a simple question. You asked, did the CIA kill JFK? You asked a very simple question, and it took us a long time, and we came up with a simple question: yes or no, yes or no. Give me the truth, is what you said. Just let me know. Did you kill the CIA? Did the CIA kill JFK? And maybe others too. You asked a simple question, and after 60 simple years, over 1 million documents already out there, 64,000 more additional pages on top of the already existing million documents got released. So to answer a very simple question, yes or no, and the answer is, remember when Meadow had that chat with Tony in The Sopranos, like, Dad, are you in the mafia? It's more or less along those lines, all right? Very similar vibes. It's very much so, it's that time again. We're learning as we go on. I think as a society, we're coming to that, going back to what, children not having an idea of anything, and then eventually, grasping these concepts of maybe shame, repercussions, actions, consequences, this, that, and the other. And at one point, we as a society are now getting to that stage of like, well, why do we need we're asking, and the government is aka the daddy of society, and daddy's like, no, daddy's just in waste management, baby. Daddy's just in waste management. But nonetheless, it's there's 64,000 pages of newly released documents, and I know, just like myself, each and every individual out there spent the last couple of days reading all the 64,000 pages of documents. And again, in addition to the already existing million pieces of documents, I know every person did that, and I know I did that as well. That's right, 64,000 pages. And the answer is, you could pretty much, like, you knew what you knew, and you still know what you know. There's no definite, like, yes, we did it. There's more or less just a lot of pages of saying more or less the same stuff. Just, did they know about Lee Harvey Oswald? They knew about him. They were surveilling him. They were, looking into Cuba, surveilling the embassies, the Mexican embassy, the Russian embassy. Australia was involved, not directly. Of course, nobody's directly involved. Everybody just had a little part into it. Everybody did their part. Everybody did a little part. Five Eyes, were they in on it? Everybody did their part. Everybody did a little bit. Nobody did anything. We didn't do anything. Nobody did anything. But at the end of the day, we are also, the takeaway is that the sometimes, so we ask these questions, it's, again, we're learning, we're growing together, and it's, should we, do we need the Central Intelligence Agency? Do we need the CIAs, the Mossads, the Five Eyes, the British intelligence, MI5, all these, do we need them? And the answer is, it's, here's what we do need. We need fucking terrorism. Fucking keep your eye out on that. Terrorisms, we need to hold them back. Savages at the gate waiting to pounce, like via jizz cum babies in the mail. Just that and other shit too. And it's a good thing we keep an eye on it too. And sometimes, despite the fact that we're keeping an eye on things, still shit happens. So you run. So it doesn't matter. The point is, the point is, do you like your life? Do you like your life? Do you like a venti or whatever size drink that you get at a Starbucks? Do you like listening to music and driving your car to some places, maybe a work desk, and then getting back home to a safe space, having all sorts of sex, drinking, working out, hanging out with friends and family, having a relatively extremely safe neighborhood to go back? Do you like all those things? Well, guess who it's brought to you by? I believe it's brought to you by, not all of it, like a lot of it, some of it is brought to you by the CIAs and the likes of the CIA. So all in all, in between all of that, and sometimes they do fuck shit. Sometimes they do fuck, that's what we do. Sometimes we do fuck shit, and that's what we do. So you gotta ask yourself, do you like nice things? Yes, good. I'm glad we're all on the same page. Sometimes along with those nice things goes a little bit of fuck shit, and that's what we do. But that's coming to light again. But this is us as a society coming into that we're at that maybe early childhood, adolescent age of okay, what's up? All right, okay, cool. We're realizing what the family business is all about. Okay, nice, tight. This feels good. It's a learning experience. Good. So this is good. That's how you move forward with things, I think. Maybe they say that. I don't know. Point is that sometimes we do fuck shit in order to be able to have good things. And sometimes maybe there are agencies out there that work behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, under the scenes, on top of the scenes, to ensure that you can have the lifestyle you deserve. And some of that business some of it is fuck shit. I told you, it's fuck. Sometimes we will have to go and kill our own president. Sometimes we might do, and we're not gonna say obviously we did that or we did. We can't say it blatantly. That's still hard to, you know, a certain thing, little by little, little by little, little by little. Okay. The point is that the takeaway is that the CIA and other, you know, intelligence services, agencies, it's like, think of it as like a good solid man in the 50s who loved you, cared for you, who provided, and every once in a while had a, you know, just a little, you know, it's because he loves you. Give you a smack every once in a while to remind you he loves you. It's like that, I think. So most of it is good. Sometimes fuck shit happens. But the good takeaway from it all is that it's equal opportunity, at least. The good thing is even the president isn't safe. So rest assured, if the president can get murked, you can get murked. That's the takeaway. That's beautiful. It's equal opportunity. Nobody's above this. So it's good so you can feel rest assured now that there is agencies out there operating and they do a lot of good, and sometimes fuck shit happens. Other takeaways, a lot of times some people said you could hold secrets for really long times. Counter to that, people said, no, there's no way you could have secret. You're telling me people organize and keep secrets for a really long time? People said that. Some people did. And, you know, what else do people keep secret? Who knows? Whom knows what else are secrets? But that's the way there's a separation between, you know, certain agencies and then there's the public. The public is like a child. Agencies are like the father and mother figures. They know what's best for you. You are not responsible enough to handle the truth, nor is it safe enough for us to even discuss the truth, because not as you will hear it, but others over there and other nations will hear it too, and we can't have that for national security. So it's like every country, it's a trip. We're evolving, we're learning. You can't know certain things. But I like to know is what you say. I say that. I say I want to know. I just want to know. It's because I'm curious. I want to know. It's fun to know more. It's fun to know more. That's what I want. Good thing, lessons learned. We can apparently keep secrets. And in time, if need be, government agencies can be competent, which is good, which is a good thing. Because a lot of times you're like, these fucking idiots couldn't pull that off. Well, apparently they can, and they are, they will, and they will. They'll fucking do it. They're still doing it. It's nice because I'm glad that I get to go out for my walks and do stuff, you know, whatever. And I suppose there's stuff, yeah, I'm sure there's stuff that I don't know. I'm sure, of course, what do I know? The fuck do I know? What do I know? This guy in a studio doing whatever, what do I know? So I'm sure there's stuff out there. I'd like to know. Give me the fucking spyware. I'd like to wet my beak and know. That's a couple of the things that I like. So, point is, we can keep secrets, lessons learned. Sometimes we do fuck shit. A lot of times we do fuck shit. Espionage involves a lot of fuck shit. Lessons learned. Other instances, you're like, what about more files to come up for the Epsteins? Maybe in 50, 60 years. Maybe in 50, 60 years. What we learned is that people who are involved in these cases and these operations, because they're interconnected with other people and it sometimes crosses borders and boundaries that are international. So it's like for the safety of the agents and the network and the company, we can't say everything. As far as the Epstein file, like I said, we're not gonna, Gazelle should be, free fucking Gazelle, Max Lane. That bitch should go free because nobody's being held accountable. And is it gonna be one of the, I'm not one of these guys that's gonna be like, I think that it's every politician or every high-ranking, official in whatever realm of business or entertainment or industry that they are. That's not everybody, obviously, but there are some that partake in pedophilia, trafficking children, running illegal sex cults or whatever, sex tourism or whatever. The illegal shit is the stuff that the public would like to know and have some sort of justice delivered. Realistically, it takes a lot of time because you got to parse through it again, millions and millions of pages of information, and knowing that it's not just bringing one person in, it's connected to a lot of people and a lot of powerful people, a lot of people that are out there doing their thing, making bank. So we as a people have to just hope that the parental agencies really do work for the, trust the government is what they're saying again. So this is all saying that we should all come back, trust because a lot of times people, we've been exposed to, old school, traditional, I guess, what do you call it? The legacy media and old school governance. Those forms kind of made, left a bitter taste in people's mouths. And there's been a lot of distrust over it. So it does take little steps of getting to trust. This trust doesn't just snap your finger, you get all that trust back. Trust takes a long time. It's a two-way street sort of thing. Having said that, I think these are great steps by the new admin. The new admin is these little, steps that you can take. I would like to see more, but that's always me. I would like to always see more. I'm always going to ask for more. Because your boy wants to just curious, want to know, because it gives me joy. It makes my nipples hard. Do you understand how hard my nipples get with juicy information? On the flip side, my nipples get very flaccid when I hear the 64,000 pages, and it's a lot of nothing, a lot of just the same old, a couple of details here, a couple of details there, nothing worth of, I'm sure people are actually going to take the time to go through it. Somebody's going to come up with a couple, but it's not anything. You're never going to get there. You're not ever going to get a clear-cut admittance by CIA or any other agency like that. And I wonder what would be the best. Would people prefer that? What if the CIA came and just blatantly said, yes, we did kill him. We killed him. We killed Malcolm X. We killed Martin Luther King Jr. We a lot of other people. Who knows? Would that be better? I think I think it would. I honestly say truth is always, the honesty is the best policy. But also, I don't know anything. Also, they've been able to run things quite well for a really long time. So, intelligence services, and they've been around for a really long time. So they know what they're doing. Whereas we are trying to learn and grow together. But the good thing is, again, take into account that it's an equal opportunity experience. So anybody could get murked. It's not just they're not just gonna spy on the regular public. They'll spy on the president if they want to. They will spy on regular publics if they want to. They'll tap your phones. They will, monitor your search engines, whatever you're on, everything. It's nice. It's good. Just saying a little bit, it'd be nice for the regular people to have access to information too, not just but all in all, it's a step forward. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, green face bitch, I see you walking down the street. Green face bitch. It wanna make you wanna ski. I say, green face bitch, I'm walking down the street. Green face bitch makes you wanna ski. Green face bitch makes you wanna suckle on your teeth. Peace.